Good day, this is Charlie Bedard, and in this video I will be demonstrating how Intelligent Code Repair, or ICR, can be integrated into a Jenkins Continuous Integration, Continuous Deployment, or CI/CD workflow. I will be providing an overview of the steps to create a Jenkins plugin and insert it into a workflow, show you how the plugin is configured, and then trigger the workflow to show that ICR is properly executed. We'll begin by going over the steps needed to integrate ICR into Jenkins. Jenkins uses plugins provided by third parties to insert into workflow scripts. OpenRefactory has developed such a plugin for ICR. For this demonstration example, we have previously installed ICR for Java on a server. We also assume that, as is common practice, a DevOps engineer is assigned to create and manage Jenkins workflows, and so is already familiar with Jenkins. For ease of use, OpenRefactory includes the Jenkins plugin in the standard ICR distribution package. The DevOps engineer, after installing the ICR plugin into the Jenkins framework, configures a workflow. The workflow consists of a variety of steps, with the engineer adding in ICR as a step. Then they configure the plugin to identify which ICR server to use and which project and branch to be analyzed. With the workflow completed, it is triggered. For our demo, we will trigger it manually. The plugin uses the configuration information to connect with the ICR server and tell it what user ID, project repository, and branch to be analyzed. The navigator then triggers the start of the analysis. When the analysis completes, the results are available for review, and the DevOps engineer is notified via an email message. Once notified, the DevOps engineer can connect to ICR in the usual manner to review and accept or reject the fixes. Now, let me show you how that all looks. For this example, we have installed the Jenkins framework on the same platform that is running the ICR service. We have also copied the OpenRefactory ICR plugin into the Jenkins plugin directory. We go into the Jenkins framework first to create a new workflow. We'll give this new workflow a name and pick a default template. Clicking OK brings us to the page where we can create all the steps that we want in this workflow. In this example, we scroll down to the Build section of the workflow and see what build options are available. We can see that ICR for Java is now one of the options. Let's choose that. When we do, we invoke the ICR for Java plugin configuration window. There are a number of items that we need to set up to be able to tell the analysis engine what user ID has access to the repository that we want to analyze, the branch, the URL to the ICR server, and so on. Note that clicking on the blue question marks will provide additional help information to guide you on how to fill in the various fields. The first item that we need to specify is the repository service that we are using. ICR supports GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket cloud repositories. In this example, we'll be using GitHub. GitHub requires a personal access token in order to authenticate the user ID for the project to be analyzed. To retrieve that, we go into GitHub and navigate to the developer settings where we select the Personal Access Tokens option. Here, we click on Generate New Token to generate a new one for use with the plugin. We enter the GitHub password to authorize the token creation. In creating the token, we need to give it a name and then make sure that the correct access privileges are associated with this token. ICR needs to have repo, workflow, and notifications enabled. Clicking on Generate Token creates the personal access token we need. We can copy it to the clipboard and enter it into the form that we are preparing. Next, we specify the URL to the repository link in GitHub from where the project source code may be cloned. The simplest way to do that is to navigate to the GitHub page where the project is. In our example, we are analyzing a project named ORBot. Using the Code button, the cloning options are presented. We want the HTTPS link, and so we copy it to the clipboard. We enter that into the form, and then decide which branch we want to analyze. In this example, we will choose the master branch, and simply type that in. Next, we enter the URL for the ICR server. In this example, ICR is running on the same platform as the Jenkins framework, so we can use local hosts to reach it. Note that the port must be 3002. The next to last item to be configured is the passphrase used to access the navigator on the target ICR server. Note that the passphrase is not displayed. The final step is to enter the email address to which the completion notification and summary email will be sent. And that's it. The workflow is ready to go. Navigate back to the Jenkins framework and the workflow that we just created. Of course, the workflow may be initiated by any number of conditions that are set by the DevOps engineer. Typical triggers are events such as the push of a commit or the arrival of a specified time interval. For this example, we will initiate the workflow manually. Clicking on Build Now sets the workflow in motion. When we see the confirmation that the flow is underway, we can check the ICR server to see if the analysis has started. We log into the ICR server, and we can see that the Monitor Analysis button is enabled, telling us that an analysis is in progress. Clicking on that button takes us to the monitor screen, which displays the analysis progress. The text on the left confirms that this is the ORBot project and that the master branch is being analyzed. When the analysis completes, the usual completion messages are displayed. Of course, the DevOps engineer does not need to log into the ICR server to monitor the progress. We are doing that here just to show that the analysis has been executed properly. When we return to the navigator screen, we can scroll down to the project just analyzed, ORBot. We can see that it has been cloned and that the review button is available, meaning that the results can be processed by the development team. So, we have shown how to integrate ICR into a Jenkins workflow and demonstrated its operation. To review more details, please check out the companion document that comes with the ICR for Java package titled ICR for Java Workflow Integration User Guide. Thanks for watching.